Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
And I'm hunting watches. This is the third video in my search for a mid-tier watch. I'll leave a link up on the screen here to the first video where I explained this quest and considered the Omega brand. Back in October, I spent a day in New York City visiting some watch sites, both boutique showrooms and the Worn & Wound wind-up show. But the primary goal of that day was to visit the Seiko boutique to check out the Grand Seiko collection. Conveniently, near Seiko, there are several other watch boutiques and stores, enabling me to consider a few brands for my search. In this video, I'll show you what I saw and my thoughts. So let's get started. Right next to the relatively small Seiko boutique is one of the Tourneau shops. This shop was divided into two sections, a Rolex room and a room to show a variety of other brands. I was hoping to see some Rolex steel sports watches here. However, like every AD I've been to, there were none to be seen. When I asked, they said they were all sold out. Really? At the boutique? Or did they have some hidden reserve only for what they considered worthy customers? I don't know. I'd really like to consider Rolex, probably a pre-owned watch. Maybe something like the Polar Dial Explorer 2. But I don't know where to look. Any coaching you have in finding a good dealer, please leave in the comments below. In the other room at Tourneau, I found several cases of nice watches. Let's go through them. They showed several Baume Mercier watches. Very nice watches, but nothing really hit me. One day I might consider their Clifton 10450, a 43mm stainless steel watch with day, date, month, and moon phase complications, retailing for $37.50. That houses an ETA 2824 movement. They had some Nomos watches, a German watchmaker. Some very nice watches, many in the Baja style, similar to what I saw from Youngham's at the wind-up show. Tourneau also carries Tag & Heuer, but since I also visited the Tag Heuer boutique later in that day, I'll leave discussion for that later in this video. Walking around a bit, we ran into the IWC boutique. Many nice watches to view here in a nice welcoming environment. To focus my interest, I asked to look at dress watches and was shown over to their Portofino collection. My eyes were immediately drawn to a beautiful understated watch with a moon phase complication. This is the IW 459401 Portofino automatic moon phase, a 40mm stainless steel case that is highly polished, a classic matte silver dial with applied gold hour markers with just the 12 and the 6 o'clock position having Roman numerals. The thing I found odd on this dial is that the moon phase cuts off the bottom half of the 12 o'clock Roman numeral, making it read as a Roman numeral 7. I would have made the numerals for 12 smaller so that it would appear correct. That and the retail price of almost $7,000 somewhat dissuaded me from considering this model. Next up was the Tag Heuer boutique. Here at Tag, I wanted to try on the Aqua Racer collection, one of their diver series. I tried both the 41 and 43 models and with ceramic versus steel bezel. Now the Aqua Racer is somewhat similar to the Omega Seamaster I reviewed in that first video of this mid-tier luxury search. At $2,650, the Aqua Racer is literally half the cost of the Omega. Now, the Omega does have their in-house coaxial movement versus the ETA-based Tag Heuer Caliber 5 movement. I'll let you determine if this or other differences are worth double in price. I will say that if I don't choose Omega for a mid-tier luxury watch, I would consider the Aqua Racer with a reasonable discount. While at the Tag Boutique, I tried on the Carrera Day Date, a dress watch which retails around $2,700, sporting the same Caliber 5 movement. Finally, at least for this tour, I hit the Breitling Boutique. I didn't ask to try on any watches there, as I really didn't find anything I liked. I know a lot of people like the Navitimer, but for me, its design is an overload on one's senses with all of the attributes on that dial. So my visit to Breitling, at least for me, was more of an opportunity to see a variety of other watches which I normally wouldn't consider. Well, that's what I saw on my day trip into New York. And this is what my key takeaways are. First of all, there are a lot of nice watches out there. I didn't even go to all the boutiques in that area of New York I visited. I'll leave that for another visit. And even with the few boutiques I did go to, each of them had a lot of watches. And if I hadn't been filming the watches for this channel, I would have forgotten half the watches I saw. So that's a tip I have, even if you're not a YouTube content creator. When you go look at watches, take pictures, take videos, even record some audio so you remember the model and the prices and the options of the watches you're looking at. Now, as far as the brands, I would say that I was pleasantly surprised with Tag Heuer. I wasn't expecting to like the Tag watches, but that Aqua Racer was a really nice watch, and I think I might consider it if I don't get an Omega Seamaster. As I said, they're similar in style. IWC makes some really nice watches, and I would have loved to pick up that moon phase watch if it wasn't for the fact that that moon phase complication cuts off the Roman numeral 12 at the top of that dial. I still can't believe they did that. Now, Breitling, as I said, I didn't see any watches there that I liked. So Breitling is a brand that I'm just not going to consider at this point. And finally, I had no luck finding any Rolex steel sports watches to even try on. And Rolex is definitely a brand I want to consider. I'm hoping to visit some ADs out here where I live to see if they even have some pre-owned watches that I could try on. I need to get a feel for the Rolex models to see if I even like them. So that's going to be my next quest on this search. Please let me know what you think of those watch brands that I reviewed in this video. And if you have suggestions for other brands that I should be considering in this search for a mid-tier luxury watch. As always, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up button so that I know you're liking the content that I'm producing. I'll see you in the next video.